Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. Joining me today is my dear friend Sree Prakasarao Velagapudi. We have been together fighting for Sanatana Dharma for many years, and today we are going to have an engrossing conversation with him. And my small sincere request to all of you to please watch this video till the end, and if you like the video, do share it with your family and friends. So let's now welcome Sree Prakasarao Garu. Prakasarao Garu, Namaskaram. How are you?
I'm very well, and I'm so glad that I have come back again after almost 1 year hiatus. We didn't meet on video, even though we are talking. I'm so glad to actually part of this discussion. And as you mentioned, I think this is going to be an interesting topic. And I'm sure many of the people would see what is it that we as Sanatana Dharmas to do in order to ensure that our Sanatana Dharma will survive and we will be in a position to protect, to preserve, and maintain it to the years to come.
Absolutely. And may I say, sir, every time I see you, you look a little bit younger.
I don't know. I'm only 85. So, so let us see how far we can go. And whatever energy I have, I will try to do the best I can.
Sir, don't even worry about it, sir. God has told us, He has laid out the map, and we will do exactly as what He is willing us to do. I have already discovered this in me, and I'm sure you did this a long time ago. I've been following you. Viewers, Prakasarao Garu is a co-founder and president of Global Hindu Heritage Foundation. This is based out of a small suburb off of Dallas, Texas, and he has done enormous amount of work in trying to spread Sanatana Dharma. In fact, he is very modest about what he does. If you go to Frisco, there is a Hanuman temple. Don't miss that. It's a beautiful, grand sight. Watching children recite various shlokas. They've done some amazing stuff there, and everything is thanks to Sree Prakasarao Garu's effort. And I highly encourage each and every one of you to visit this if you happen to be in Dallas area. Now, let us talk about what is happening in Dallas. And see, there is a town called Frisco, which is where the temple is located, which is where Prakasarao Garu lives. And I read this news, viewers, about a couple of years ago, 1.5 years ago, 2022, where they were demonstrating. They were demonstrating that there is an organization in Frisco which was working to collect funds for demolition of churches. See, the thing here is you have to understand what they said to word it. It was mischievously worded. The interesting thing that I found by looking at all the faces that were demonstrating is these people don't belong to any church organizations. They belong to something else. We'll not go into that right now. We are going to just talk about what really happened. And to know all about that, Prakasarao Garu is going to take a trip down memory lane when he came to know about this and what he has done thus far. Over to you, Prakasarao Garu.
Yeah, thank you so much, Iyer Garu. See, this is what happened about 3 years ago. So I was in Tirupati, and at that time we were trying to distribute some bhajan instruments to different villages. So we have done it close to 100 villages. After that one day, one of the villager called and said, somebody is building a church only about 15 meters away from our Mata temple, and they are going to create a lot of problems because their prayers are different, whatnot. Is there anything that you can do to help us? At that time, I did not even know that there are so many guidelines, there are so many rules that one has to follow in order to build a religious structure. So we have come to know that at least 100 meters distance should be there from one religious institution to another one. Then we pointed out to the pastor, and he knew it, But, generally our Hindus do not protest or question, so he took it for granted. When we mentioned that one, the pastor himself moved out and realized that that is not what he is supposed to do. After that incident, so I kept thinking, there are so many churches in Tirupati, whether any of these churches were given permission. Because after that one, I read one GO which says, no site shall be used for the construction of building intended for public worship or religious purposes without the proper prior approval of the collector of the district and also other offices. So that means collector's permission is important in order to even start any structure. Any religious structure, it's not just either church, it's not mosque, it's not temple, any church, anything, they have to get the approval. So then I said, there are so many churches, one after one. There are even some houses, there is not even 100 meters difference. So you will see so many churches. I was wondering what happened. How come that many churches are there? It is the most sacred place in India, Tirupati and Tirumala. So how come this many churches have come? Is there something that we need to look into? Then the only thing that I could think of, this particular GO, which says collector's permission is required. So the only way we can get that information is write a letter to collector, TODA officials, mandal officer, and other officers. Write a letter asking them whether they have given permission to any of these churches. So that means we are saying they have to take the permission before they even start building that one. And so we requested through Right to Information Act. So that means they have to respond within a month. So when we asked that information through Right to Information Act, within a month, they all responded. All of them have indicated they have not actually given any permission to any of the churches, not a single one in Tirupati. I am sure many of you probably went to Tirupati and saw so many beautiful structures, churches and others. So that means what is it we have to do? So there is a law, there are guidelines for everything. So as a result, we thought we will try to figure out how do we enforce the law, whatever prevailing law it is there. Since that particular GO requires the permission, since they do not have the permission, let us go ahead and file a case and see where we go from there. So we consulted some lawyers and they suggested it is better we don't go to High Court. Let us file this case to TODA, Tirupati Urban Development, because they already agreed and accepted and told you they have not given permission to the construction of these churches. Since they did not give the permission, obviously they have the authority to remove them, demolish them, whatever you want to call it, because it is their responsibility to make sure all the laws are executed properly. So that is how our lawyer suggested. Then we went and then asked him to file a brief and submit it to the TODA. So that is what our lawyer has done. And in that one, basically, we said he actually mentioned so many other violations. It's not just only construction or illegal construction of church. So in fact, he mentioned about the building code, and he talked about the metropolitan, regional, and urban development authorities, about the penal code. He mentioned about it, about the environmental facilities, about the rules of assembly. So there are at least 5-6 different acts. He looked at it and say, you see, basically, any structure that is built without permission they are in violation of all these 5-6 acts. Then I said, okay, let's go ahead and do it. So we sent that request to file a brief to TODA within 2 months. So they issued a GO, something I think it is called GO, one order they issued, and basically asking the commissioner to look into it and see that he takes proper action. If you look at that GO, GO says, demolish the unlawful constructions and immediate stoppage of the unlawful operations. So that is what the essence of that one. And then he is asking the commissioner. So this particular GO was addressed to the commissioner. And then he said, that means who said, Vice Chairman, yes, Hari Krishna, he issued this particular order and then asked the commissioner to make sure, take necessary action on the unauthorized constructions / churches as they are located within the municipal corporation limits. So this is the GU. So that means commissioner has an obligation, he has a duty to see that this particular GO is executed. So far, now it's more than 1.5 years. He has not actually done any of it. And about a month ago, December 20th, that means December 20th, 23rd. So we wrote a Right to Information Act letter asking what action has been taken since that GO was issued. Now it is more than 1 month. They have not responded. We are just trying to see what is our next step. Now, I think you mentioned in your introduction, there were some protests. So what happened? It was November 27th or 28th of 2022. We had a fundraising dinner about different things. In that one, we also mentioned demolition of illegal churches. So this one caught the eye of some different organizations, and they started protesting in Frisco, Texas. Basically, nobody has any right to say nobody should demonstrate on anything, because this is a free country. In any free country, they can demonstrate whatever they would like to demonstrate. That's not an issue here. But what they have done, 2 things. One, so this says demolition of churches, illegal churches. They went to city council, about 150 plus, and 15 people spoke against Global Hindu Heritage Foundation and me, saying that they try to avoid as much as possible. Maybe once in a while they might have mentioned. Basically, in all the speeches, they said Global Hindu Heritage Foundation is interested in demolishing all the churches, demolishing the churches. They did not emphasize the illegal or unlawful churches. So then I waited for some time just to subside. Then on 13th of December, so I actually videotaped and then sent a message saying that we have not collected 1 penny for the demolition of these churches. We have not paid even 1 penny to the lawyer also. It can be verified whichever way we want. So these 2 are discounted, and then I mentioned that one, these 2 are false. Even then, they have demonstrated for 4 weekends and 2 weekends vigil and all that. So what they are saying is, they keep on saying, so I'm more interested in demolishing all the churches. But that is not. So if what is the GO says is, demolish the unlawful or illegal structures. If they are demonstrating against me, saying that I am interested in demolishing all these churches, I think it is more appropriate for them to demonstrate in front of 𝗏𝗏, because 𝗏𝗏 is the one who gave this particular GO. I am not the one who is in charge of anything there. It is the 𝗏𝗏 recognizing they have not given permission to any of these churches. How come this many churches have come? And they decided, hey, we have to take proper action and see what can be done about all these unlawful structures or illegal structures. They asked the commissioner to make sure that he takes appropriate action. I think that GO, anybody can access it, anybody can look at it. So using that particular thing, it's not just one organization or two organizations. There are at least about 20 different organizations at one time or the other participated in this one to demonstrate against the Global Hindu Heritage Foundation, misleading the public, basically not telling the truth. So that means what we are saying here is, anytime any Hindu group is trying to do something good for the society and do it legally, do it lawfully, follow the rules and the regulations of the country, respect the law, that is what we are trying to do. If they are demonstrating, probably they are demonstrating against all the laws and the regulations. They want to make sure these laws are removed so that way they can do whatever they want to do. Probably that, I don't know. So the point is, I think they have basically protested for a wrong cause by using wrong information or disinformation.
Thank you so much, sir. And this is par for the course. Prakasarao garu, please don't feel bad. This is par for the course. This particular motley group is not representing any interests. What they are trying to do is build it first, do the crime. Then when somebody tries to undo it, cry victimhood. Oh, look at my place of worship, it is being destroyed. Prakasarao garu, I have seen several places where there is zero Muslim population in that area, zero Christian population in that area. And then suddenly one day a cross will come up, next day the church will come up, and people are saying, wait, there are no Christians here. Why are you doing this? The idea is to harvest souls, to try and convert them. So this has become a malaise, and I don't think you should feel bad about it. First of all, you know, the information that the city has got is one-sided. I don't know if they asked you for an explanation, and basically it's not their job, and they're basically wasting taxpayers' money by listening to all these things. And as for the people who are coming and talking to them, shame on you. Shame on you, because you said that you are an Indian American, you've lived and you've grown up in India. You have to verify the facts first. Without verifying the facts, don't shoot your mouth off. Yes. And I'm going to give you, viewers, I'm going to give you a bunch of links about who said what. And I want to name and shame these people, because the names also come up in hearings. You have to do your research. If you say that I'm an Indian American, because you are being weaponized against by people of your own origin. That is the other underlying current, because the city officials will say, hey, wait a minute, here is an Indian American saying that what this other Indian American has done is wrong, then there must be wrong. But they fail to understand that the first guy who is making the claim hasn't done his homework. So these are all mischievous elements, and they need to be named and shamed, so that next time they think twice, they do their homework, make sure that they have in possession the right facts. Sir, yes. I'm sorry that you're being put through all this stuff. Viewers, I have known him for a long time. In fact, he does things that you and I will not even dare to dream. He's spending what his retirement money, income, 401k benefits, those are being paid out now. He puts all that into this GHHF. Many of us, I can't even think of any of us who will be doing this. And the man works. I mean, you have to go to Tirupati. Also, all those lumpens who are mouthing off here, you go back to Tirupati, look at the kind of work GHHF does. Then you come and talk.
See,
yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, you just mentioned about this city council. So, of course, they did not know what these people are going to talk about it. Usually when you ask for a time, they do give. And after they listened, they were surprised. And one of the council members, there are 9 council members. One of the council members, most of them we know actually. One of the council members came to our house next day. So when that council member heard of what was said, that council member was surprised, shocked, wanted to hear from me, came to our house, spent 1 hour, and then we explained what is the reason all this demonstration is taking place, for what they are demonstrating. We showed this particular jivo. We talked about all the sequence of events I just mentioned, that even any country, even in our city of Frisco, if you want to build something, you have to go through so many procedures. It will take probably 1 year before you can even get the approval even to level the ground. So when we mentioned that one, that council member was shocked. How come this many structures came without the permission? Because in our case, that means council member saying, in our case, we don't give permission unless we are satisfied. We look at the traffic, we look at the environmental thing, we look at the look into the water flow. So many factors they look into, and so that council member was surprised and shocked. If you need any help, don't hesitate to call us. And in fact, the police officers came to know. And so they came, actually, we know them, because they saw the seriousness, the number of people protesting, because they are there. Police people were there in front of the city council. They know how intensely the demonstration was going on. So in fact, assistant police officer called and said, if you need any help, if you need any protection, please call. We will try our best to do our job. So, I mean, the point is, everybody has to follow some rules and the regulations and see that we all live in peace and harmony. Police officer didn't have to call. The city council member didn't have to come. But they want to make sure they understand what is the reason. So then they understood and they said, don't worry, if you want, we will give you the time to talk. All our people, and I also said, no, there is no reason to go back and then rebut one way or the other, because truth is truth. One day or the other, every human being has to live with their consciousness, what they have done. Is it for my selfishness of whatever religion that I belong, that I am doing this one? Whatever it is, one day or the other, they have to square away with their consciousness. It will hurt them, it will haunt them. They will definitely feel the pinch of the truth, the power of the truth. That is all we all have to, all Hindus have to stand for something. If you look at Ramayana, Rama temple was constructed, you know what happened? 500 years we had to wait. Tell me which country, which other religion will wait that many years? We are known for that one. But everybody is trying to malign us as if it is our weakness. Because we Hindus don't speak up, we don't get organized, we don't take pride in our culture. So other people basically take advantage of it. We are giving them the space to speak because we are not responding. So now the only thing I want to tell all Hindus, because when this demonstration was going on, even some of our friends had some doubts. Is it really? Uncle is trying to demolish all the, asking for demolition of all these churches. Is it true? Is it true? They did not believe for a couple of months in some cases. After that one, they realized when they look at it, because you see, you get carried away with the moment. You don't know the truth, but you're carried away. Oh, that is since what these people are saying something like that one, it must be true. By the time they realize, it is too late, but eventually they realize. But I just want to make sure that all the Hindus, they have to protect their mother, that is Sanatana Dharma, because if you look at anything about our history, what has happened to our history for the last 500 years, 600 years, it is only because of our lack of discipline, interest, pride. So it is time you speak up. And I want every Hindu to examine their soul and ask themselves, what am I doing today to protect my mother? What am I doing today? And don't expect and keep saying, nobody is doing. Don't worry about whether other people are doing or not. If your mother is sick, are you going to wait for somebody else to come and take care of it? So please, as a Hindu, stand up for Hinduism and stand up for the principles, stand up for the prestige. If you look at Rama and Ravana difference, one is a Murkha, the other one is a Mahatma. So let us make sure that we follow some principles. So any one weakness can destroy anything. So let us not fall trap into this kind of thing. Anything anybody says, let's not believe it unless you know the truth, unless you do the research, unless you look at the documents and then make a decision. But finally,
Thank you so much, Prakasarao Garu. And viewers, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. We're going to have a series of conversations with Prakasarao Garu. I've been meaning to do this, but somehow both of us are traveling and things kind of fall through the cracks. This is, I think, third or fourth time that he has come on our channel. And I've had the honor of being at Tirupati once to address another group. And this was a few years ago, before COVID, if I remember correctly.
yes.
And thank you once again, Prakasarao Garu. It's an honor and pleasure to have you on our platform. Namaskar.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And we thank all the listeners. Jai Sree.
Jai Sree Ram.
Jai Sree Ram. Jai Sree Ram. Jai Sree Ram.